So,
Okay.
on the last session, here's what happened. Because it's been a few weeks, because we took a break for the holidays. You guys left your normal characters behind, who were just finishing up a kind of rescue mission in the Nightlands, which could be more accurately called the Daylands today. And Earth would be more like the Nightlands. It's like the sun swapped places. But while that was going on, you kind of switched perspective, and you guys took over the persona of a group of Spook Squad agents who were going to a hotel within the American Southwest with the understanding that you needed to get these case that had several items in it that were stolen from a local museum. You got there, and it was initially looking not so bad. Hotel was one of those creepy, rundown, off the side of the highway affairs that you'd expect to see out of an Alfred Hitchcock movie. There were some bodies in it, and you did have to fight a couple of these big wormy things that had eaten some of the residents, but it wasn't long after that this guy just kind of appeared out of nowhere. Blinking in and out of existence underneath the streetlights. Anytime he walked out of darkness, he would instantly appear in the middle of the light underneath the next streetlight, and he would just fade from view as he got closer to closer. Well, that character, whoever he was, proved to be way out of the league of Spook Squad. He turned somebody's gun into a cookie with chocolate chips that hatched into insects and snakes. He melted a car on top of one of you and blasted another one into cinders with a lightning bolt.
Oh, sorry.
I can't remember how the fourth one of you died, but the fifth one, Cannabella's character, her agent, was able to run into the desert carrying this case of artifacts, and she just kind of disappeared into the night. The avatar of the Night Lord, he just went the wrong way looking for her. So she's wandering around in the desert, and you guys are just getting ready to do the mirror walk back to Earth. You're talking to some of these, some of them were, they're all prisoners, but some of them had actually been born and raised on the Nightlands, and they were able to confirm that what's going on there right now is weird. They have never seen it before. Normally, the sky is this weird black and red with clouds that go across it. There's an eerie light, but just enough that you can see what's going on. The fact that it's broad daylight in the Nightlands has got all the Night Lords in a panic. A lot of them have recalled their forces back to their own little areas. And these guys were specifically sent to this quarry to try and dig out a case, and they showed you a very specific symbol that they were looking for that was going to be on top of the case. They drew it in the dirt, and it looked kind of like a triangle with made out of snakes, with each snake biting the other one's tail. And they were all kind of coiled onto each other. They didn't know what was in there. They just knew that they had to get this case. A couple of the Nightbane that you met from the Underground Railroad, we'll go with, I believe Treads was one of them that was there, along with your shark-headed savior, MacGuffin, said that, that symbol's pretty arcane looking. You might be able to get some information from, and they said either the Seekers or the Nocturns. And they gave you some information on who those two groups were and where you could find either one of them. And that's where I'm going to turn it back to you guys to do your role play and direct us down the road. Anybody?
All right.
Bueller?
So we're going to the Nocturns. Where are they located?
The Nocturns have, Treads looks around, looks down in his hands, kind of like puts one over his eye. He got that like I'm thinking look, and he's like, there was this club up in Newark. God, I can't remember the name of it. One of those really obnoxious goth clubs that always plays techno music. Kids like to go there and kind of mope around and say it's dancing. The BX. I can't remember, something like that. Do you know which one it was? MacGuffin. He goes, oh yeah, you were close. It was QXT. Oh yeah, QXT. That's it. It's one of those. It's one of those clubs where all the goth kids and scene kids hang out. You can usually find one or two. So that's probably where I would go look for them if I were you. QXTs.
Thanks for the info. We'll have to go and track it down.
Okay.
Should we stop someplace and get more appropriate clothes?
Oh yes, how are you all dressed still? Like, what are you wearing? I forgot.
I think almost in the same stuff as I was wearing before.
Right. I've got a button-up shirt, khakis.
I think I'd be in a martial arts gi.
Wearing a black shirt and gym shorts.
Well, I had my car and I definitely had a bag in it, so I have fresh clothes on. And it's probably something stretchy, some kind of legging situation.
We're like Miss
Definitely
Frizzle, and
some,
you got everything in there.
Yes.
huh?
So what do you like, Miss Frizzle, and you got everything in there?
Of course, always be prepared. Always have this. I have spared everything in my car right now. You never know what's going to happen.
Keep my pumps right next to the AK-47.
I mean,
Exactly.
You never know what to expect.
Hey,
I do keep a spare change of clothes
yeah,
in my
exactly.
car, so I mean, I get it.
They find me naked, they find me
So.
naked.
God, that's another story. Well, I'll be honest. MacGuffin's gonna look at you and go, I don't know if they're really gonna care what we're wearing. It's what time did I say it was last session? Oh crap, I should have probably looked that up. That's pretty important. It's early afternoon, I remember that. And it's about an hour and a half up there, under normal traffic. And I don't think the roads are going to be too terribly busy. Maybe they're still jam-packed. Could take us longer. Might have to take the back roads. But I don't think the nightclub's going to be, clubbing it up by the time we get there. I want to say it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon when we ended the last session. If not, we're retconning it to be 1 o'clock.
Yeah, that is a bit of a question I have. What happened to that group we saved?
Everybody's still here. You guys haven't all crossed over the mirror wall yet.
Okay.
You guys are going to be as far as I was aware from last time we played. And that's a good question because it's been a couple weeks, but from what I remember, everybody was crossing over the mirror wall into the house that you originally breached from.
Yeah.
And
We had all made it over. We ended.
Okay, so you had all just gotten back over?
Yep.
Okay, so you're all back in that living room from that house with the the cops from the last session. Like that cop's house.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I know I missed a couple things, so I wanted to make sure. I was like, that's the last I remember
No.
was from that moment on.
Do you recall if we looted the police?
Did you pillage the dead bodies of the police officers? I do not recall you guys doing that.
I do not recall that either.
Search their bodies to see if they have anything useful.
You're going to loot the bodies of the police officers. One of
On their
whom,
family.
Do you blame him?
one of whom is the father of one of the children,
Mm-hmm.
and the husband to the and his wife. They're in this house now.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying you
if they're
can't
in
do
the
it.
house,
I'm just asking,
I'm not insensitive.
are you doing it?
I'm just saying, we should, if this is their house, we should try to, help them out. At least take the bodies outside. Can't leave
That's
them inside.
tactically.
Okay, so that's a little bit different than looting their rump sacks looking for gold
Mm-hmm.
coins.
But who says he's not going to grope them? He carries them out.
Like guns. I was more interested in like guns.
Guns.
Well,
Yes.
there was that police squad car that was outside.
Yes. So,
Yeah, but I got
go on.
I got that
shotgun,
gun
right?
from out
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So searching for
Had my own.
guns. If you're doing that, you do find a pair of pistols. Absolutely. They're going to be your standard. Just on. Do I want to do that? Yeah, let's do a 9. I was going to say a 38 special. 38 service revolver or a 38 special, but let's go ahead and just do a standard 9mm pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and each one we'll say had 2 clips of ammunition. So they are 9mm model P5 Walthers. They do 2d6 damage.
1 second.
Well, while they're doing that, I'm gonna try to attend to the group that we saved to make sure they're all okay.
Okay. One last thing for death. It's an 8-round magazine. You're tending to the group now. Some of them are like 2 of them are obviously way more traumatized than the rest.
Oh yeah.
That would be the kid and the wife of the cop that used to live in this house, who were taken over to the Nightlands during Dark Day, like today, just a few hours ago. Whereas some of the other ones, they have a different kind of trauma going to them. These ones, they were born and raised on the Nightlands. Like, they've never been to Earth. Like, they're from Earth, but they've never actually set foot on it. Their grandparents did, or their great-grandparents, or even their parents, but the rest of this group was, they for all intents and purposes, they were natives to the Nightlands. They were born and raised in some kind of, either they were raised in service to the Night Lords as slave labor, or they were captured from one of the many communities that dotted the wastes out there.
I was just gonna come back inside and speak to the lady whose house this is and give her her husband's gun with the extra magazines for it.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, like, I know you've been through a lot, but you should have something to protect yourself. The world is much more dangerous now. You have a little one to look after.
With tears, like, she's got this teary-eyed look still. She's still freaking out. She takes the gun and puts a hand over her mouth. Thank you. Sorry. Just thank you. It's been a crazy, weird. I don't even know. It's just been. It's too much. And her voice cracks while she's saying it. She's barely able to look up, but she does take the gun with one hand and she puts the ammunition in her pocket with the other one. And, she's kind of holding her kid next to her. They're both crying.
I'm gonna go and try to get them some water.
Okay.
Okay.
Kitchen's
I
easy
know
to
this
find.
is a difficult time for you, and of course your little one. I just want to make sure of something. Do you know how to use that gun?
Oh, yes. He took me to the range all the time.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. I just didn't want to leave you here with nothing to defend yourself with. Like I said, it's a dangerous world out there, man.
She thanks you, and she takes her kid over to sit on the couch, and some of the other people who are laborers in the camp, they go, well, what are we supposed to do now? And why is sky's dark here? At least that's normal.
Well, it's very not normal for us.
This is what it looks like on
Yeah.
the Nightlands. In the Nightlands, this is what it's supposed to be like on the other side of the mirror.
Well, that's what it was supposed to look like over here.
It's really
Or at
strange.
least for half the day.
Day. What's day?
The big bright light in the sky that makes you be able to see everything.
Yeah, it's honestly, you hear about it from some of the old timers or passed down in the stories, but we've never seen it before till this last cycle it started. So right now, the only thing that feels right is the sky being dark. And they're just gonna kind of, meander around the house a little bit. Nate, you're able to easily find the kitchen. The cups are in one of the cabinets. They got the Brita filter, so finding water's really simple for you.
No. Then make sure to just return that to them. I say a little too more to myself. I know I did a little bit of quite of a crazy act I had to do inside that, but
Okay. Well, they're all as settled as they can be at this point. What is going to happen next?
Um, the the ones that came over that we were talking to about, that they'd been born over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask them I mean, what skills or were they just laborers over there?
So a couple of them will say, yeah, we just they were laborers. All they did was what they were told to do. They dug, they mined, whatever work was handed to them from the Night Lords. And a couple of the other ones who were from some of the settlements, they said they were either hunters. One of them said he was basically what passed as the local smith. He would turn the different ores into usable weapons and materials for building houses. One of them said he was a fisherman. There were a couple. He called them sinkholes, where water just came from. I don't know. Like it just was always there. There's these puddles, and they were constantly filled with fish. Even if you took all the fish out of them, in a day or two, there'd be more fish in them. And he was one of the guys that would go and pull the fish out of those puddles with nets that he made. So you have a bit of a range of different skill sets here.
Because we never asked them if they wanted to come over here. I'm going to ask them, say, would y'all have rather stayed in the Nightlands?
The majority of them are, they're going to say, yeah, like we would like to get back to our families, our communities.
I mean, then we should talk to. Then I'm going to talk to MacGuffin and say that they need to go back.
MacGuffin agrees. All right, yeah, I can see that. I have no problem taking them back. I can't get them back to their communities because I got to get back to the railroad. And it sounds like you guys are going to be going somewhere. Either go see the Nocturns or over to the Seekers and Rutgers.
Obviously,
cut out there.
Sorry, I was just going to say, but you can get them close, right?
Yeah, I can get them over there, get them a little bit down the way. And as long as I can, I can cross the mirror wall back, somewhere halfway between probably. There's probably going to be a cross point. Either way, I can handle my own over there. And, one of them pipes up. He's like, we're not completely defenseless. We grew up in the Nightlands. And, some of you guys over here, pointing to the ones that were just laborers, you're welcome to come back to our community. And, we could probably set you up with a place. You don't have to stay here or, go back to the Night Lords. That's no way to live. And one of them says that he's going to, I'll head back with you guys. And another one of them says, no, I'm going to try and do something on this side. I don't want to go back. I'm happy. I want to see what I can do here. My parents were from this side of the wall. I'm sure I still have family somewhere. I'm going to go try and track them down. But MacGuffin agrees to take some of them over and get them back to them. Take the ones that want to go back across and see if he can get them at least close to home before he crosses back to meet back up with the railroad.
Okay.
You're covered.
So, do we want to rest a little bit before we head out to the club?
And I can sleep in the car.
I mean, it's only like an hour and a half drive, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. MacGuffin leans over, looks over his shoulder and goes, "Yep, that's right." As he's trying to get the mirror prepared to start shooting people back over the mirror wall.
Can we take a mirror to get there?
Treads looks over and he's like, "Well, easy answer is yes. Long answer is you're going to be crossing the wastes of the Nightlands, which is patrolled by hunters. Those are the flying vulture guys in black armor with the big long pointy sticks that you've been fighting. Hounds, the guys walking around on the ground in the skeletal armor with the axes and the swords and the spears. And all manners of other creatures and horrors. It's not as safe. Well, not that taking the roads are going to be safe either, but it may be more dangerous to go through the Nightlands than it is through the overworld out here on Earth. It's up to you, though. You can go either way you like. But there's no roads. There's no cars in the Nightlands. You're going to be hoofing it.
So we can go our own way?
You can go any way you want, but you're going to be hoofing it in the Nightlands. You're going to be going on foot. It's an hour and a half drive. And again, through monster-infested territory. It may be easier. Maybe you don't run into monsters, but it's definitely going to take you longer. Or take the roads. Your call.
I looked to see if anybody got the reference.
Of the overworld or Nightlands?
Of me saying so we can go our own way.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, nobody got it. That's fine.
What was the reference?
For the song, you can go your own way.
I thought it was the song, but then I was like...
I think you were talking Fleetwood Mac, and then I thought your character was way too young to be talking about Fleetwood Mac.
I mean,
really.
we're
yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say because there was not going to be a Brita filter.
I answered your question, Frail. I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Brita
Thanks.
filters 2000.
It's in
Well, I
Forrest
mean,
Gump.
Was
back
it?
in high school, people would wear those Fleetwood Mac T-shirts.
Oh,
Ironically,
okay, but that's the thing is ironically.
like kids would be like, "I totally know who Creedence Clearwater Revival is." Yeah, name 4 songs.
I've watched
Well,
Jack Frost.
CCR. That's how you tell the truies from the fakies.
Yeah, there you go. So you know what I'm talking about. Nowadays, you got the 13-year-olds running around with a Nirvana shirt. They've never even heard a single song because they thought the shirt looked cool in their parents' sock drawer.
They just
God,
like
I'm
to
old.
experience it.
Yeah, God, I'm old. But yeah, there you go. Choices. Exercise them.
All right, let's flip coins.
Yep, it's time for coins.
Coins, Rochambeau, and dice rolls.
I mean, I'm fine with sleeping in the car. Even if it's an hour, I'm fine.
Yeah, I guess if we're gonna try to take some rest, then we'll just figure out what we're doing. But
I've already driven the car.
you're just
That's right. You stole my car. I
Yeah.
remember that now.
now hold on.
Such a big-
There's no reason to go after the boy like that.
Word.
Stole
If anything, it was
hungry.
dangerous with how many weapons was in that car to begin with.
There was a lot, okay?
But yeah, I don't think we want to trouble this family of this home any longer, Daniel. So
Yeah, I agree. We should
Nate's over there.
let them.
Water in their face. Right.
The power of Nate compels you. The power of Nate compels you.
Yeah, we should just go.
Yeah. If you all want to take a rest, like maybe we can work in shifts, rest while we're making our drive.
Fine with me.
You're going to split up an hour and a half drive into how many shifts?
And
10. 6-minute intervals.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can drive the whole way.
yeah, I'm not driving. I'm sleeping, so you don't have to worry about me.
Everybody else can.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep as well.
All right, so who's
Then I'll
driving?
drive. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be driving if need be. I'll be the co-pilot.
Okay, but you don't control the music.
I don't much care for it anyway. I
Oh no,
prefer
you
silence.
drive. Okay, you drive and I'll control the music.
Fair. And then we just get static for an hour and a half.
Radio doesn't work, but it makes a ticking sound that keeps your mind off the cold.
Oh, that's right. Wait, is there Bluetooth? Was there Bluetooth in 2001?
No, there was
No,
No.
there is nothing.
Cell phones were barely a thing.
Cell phones could build houses.
Did you have a newfangled CD player in your car?
Absolutely.
Playing Gwen Stefani.
Absolutely.
Mid
Oh,
2000s.
No, it would not have been Gwen Stefani. It would have been
No.
no doubt.
Now,
No,
there would
no,
have been no doubt.
no. It would have been like Slipknot, Corn, Limp Bizkit. It would have it wouldn't have been. No, it wouldn't have been pop.
Whoops. I messed up the antenna. We can't hear anything. Oh no.
Don't I know how to fix this. You just have to unscrew it and then you put aluminum foil in there. That good old hack.
I heard that works.
Just put a old coat hanger on top of the radio antenna and coat it.
Yeah,
in
let's
foil.
get this little ducky off the top of the thing. That's just ruining it anyway.
I mean, let's just drive and get there.
I'm already asleep.
All right, so Frail falls asleep in the back seat.
Tom.
I'm gonna
Tom
toggle a friend on the
falls
back
asleep in the back seat. Alistair draws a magic marker penis on his forehead. And you guys are listening to Slipknot in the most calm way possible while this drive is going.
You're welcome.
Like
Thank you.
the classics
It was
like
enough.
Wait and Bleed and
Enough.
it's the only song I remember by name
Man.
from Slipknot, even though I used to listen to that first album on
Knock,
repeat
knock,
in my
it's like
car.
this rolling.
One called Duality.
Yeah, it's funny
So
because
good.
I used to listen to that first album on repeat in my car, and I can only remember the name of that one song. All right, it's a pretty uneventful drive, like as uneventful as it could be. I mean, there are cars abandoned on the side of the road. There are businesses that are on fire as you pass by them. First responders are out doing their thing the best they can. People are panicking in the streets until you hit the Garden State Parkway and start going north. And this is where it's
I was to say, is it like LA right now?
no. It's actually clean. No,
It's quite a reference, though.
Yeah,
So you're
it
not
is.
following what's
I'm following what's
happening.
going on in
Oh.
LA.
Yeah. My
No.
God.
So it's not like a giant ball of fire. This is more like riots.
Mhm.
This would be like LA during the Rodney King times,
Yeah.
but with a lot less people on the roads and out there doing it. Like it looks like the aftermath of the riots, but you're like, well, where are all the people? What caused this damage? And occasionally you'll see a group of people out, but not enough that could have caused the level of damage that you're seeing. So either the police and the first responders have done a good job of shooing people away and getting them back in their homes, or since you're all privy to what's been going on, those monsters have been working overtime to cause this amount of damage. And there's a lot more of them out there than the small handful that you've seen.
We need to know what roles we have. One, it's a friend.
Yes.
I guess we got something coming on the radio.
I don't remember that Slipknot track.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But I will take like a Wendy's Frosty if you guys are ordering food. If that's what was going on.
I am.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah,
Totally,
that's exactly what.
I could totally go for a Frosty. But yeah, it's not like LA Fireball like what's going on right now. It's not a fire cane, but riot. It's riot levels worth of damage out there.
Yeah.
At least until you get on the Parkway. And that's where you're going to notice.
RoboCop kind of riot.
Yeah, like 1991, like Detroit movie riot.
Right.
Like, holy hell, this is a movie from the 90s. Getting on the Parkway, which for people who are not familiar with New Jersey, is the major north-south road, where not only do they charge you to get on 25 cents, at least that's what it was back when I was taking the road in this time frame, but every so many miles you had to pay a toll of 35 cents as well. It was the toll road, but it went the entire length of the north-south of Jersey. And it spit you off. The Newark exit would spit you off kind of close to where you were going. Now, the traffic, because there's traffic still, it's all coming from the north. Like, it's all going south. So all the traffic is in the southbound lanes coming from north, which means you have a pretty easy-ish drive going up. Everybody's trying to get out of North Jersey, which is the more densely populated city area of New Jersey,
which actually is alarming. As if there couldn't have been more of a reality euphemism of everything going south. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a nice drive, but it feels like a red flag.
And Thomas is asleep in the back seat with a magic marker penis on his forehead. I don't know if there is one. I'm adding that in there because I thought it would be funny. But it's
hilarious.
It's
Do more
not
things
there.
to my character.
I'll do all kinds of violations.
Don't
to
touch
your
that kid.
character. I will violate your character with so much
Adam.
player agency violations. The DM will just materialize and spit in your mouth while you sleep. Oh, that.
Are we in separate cars though?
Yeah, are you in separate cars?
I don't recall.
Oh, I don't know.
We did
Are
have
we?
two
I
cars.
know I have
We
a
did,
car.
yeah.
We did have two cars. Did one of them get totaled or something?
Nope.
Okay, so
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure how we're spaced. So it's me, Cannabella, and Thomas is sleeping in the back.
I was gonna say I want to ride with Cannabella. She's got Slipknot.
Okay.
Cool. I'll follow him in whatever the other vehicle
Only
is by
one
myself. Wherever-
Cannabella enough to go around for. Oh, sorry, Tom.
No, I was just gonna say I'm fine driving alone by myself, so I don't have to. So I can listen to the best of the '60s, '70s, and the '80s.
You're listening
Perfect.
to WOBM FM with
Exactly.
Rick and Tom in the mornings, and everything's fucking crazy. I shit you not.
We got Casey Kasem.
hey, I
He's
might
still
have
alive.
walkie-talkies in my car. That is a high likely that I have walkie-talkies.
You can have walkie-talkies. That's standard.
Thank you.
That'll be standard.
Oh, it's
That's kind of
good,
standard
Gary.
camping equipment. So
All right, so I've given him one of my walkie-talkies. That way we can keep in contact if he's by himself,
okay.
or even if he's not by himself. Fuck it.
He's
Can we-
bashing on
we-
your Slipknot. You give him a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, in
Breaker
case of
one line.
emergencies.
Is it possible to turn this down? I'm not
Over.
too typical into the heavy stuff. The heaviest I go is David Bowie.
Okay, get out of the car.
I'm in the
David
midst of
Bowie's
driving.
amazing.
Alistair.
Shut yourself.
You know what? I'll drive. Get out of the car. You're done. You gotta go ride with.
Listen,
70s, 80s.
we're not stopping just so that you can drive.
It's not about me driving. It's about you not talking about David Bowie. Well, the Slipknot's on. Have you ever heard of defiling something? You're defiling it. Heretic anthem. Listen,
I'm gonna go back to the silence of driving, Alistair.
you should do that while Slipknot's playing. Respect.
Let's play a game, Alistair.
Okay.
Let's not talk this whole ride.
As long as Slipknot's rolling, I'm good. Yeah.
Look
And
how
you lost.
Death presents
You lost the
himself
game.
as some martial combat Zen guru guy who's over here freaking out about Slipknot.
Mm.
What is to say about Slipknot?
I am one with the
I'm a
universe.
music
Don't touch, wait, and
teacher.
bleed, motherfucker.
Just all of a sudden, a knife at my throat. Whoa!
I was listening to Dwelling.
You taught kids a very dangerous martial art, a military martial art.
Yes. But I'm not a psychopath. I just really like Slipknot, man.
I understand, but I'm just trying to drive. Got my own process. You guys can play what
Okay,
you
well,
want.
I
Just
have my
I asked to
CDs
turn
right
it down a
here.
little bit.
I'm not driving. Okay, let's turn it down. We can chill something more. We can do something a little bit more chill. So, how about like I don't know, maybe Jimi Hendrix?
Oh, I'm all right with that too. That'd be lovely. A little smoke on the water. Who doesn't like that?
That's not Jimi Hendrix. That's Deep Purple.
You see, you just woke up Thomas. I was trying to let him sleep.
Yeah.
Well, mistakes are made. So the 70s were never my scene, man.
Pretty sure Deep Purple was the 80s, but
Whatever. Still not really my scene. I didn't get into music until late.
well, maybe you should shut your mouth and stop drawing penises on people's forehead.
Yeah, how many penises is that now? It's like 7?
That's why I pulled the cap off of my marker.
I was only joking. They're not really there.
Now they're there. All right? Now the threat's in the air. All right. I pulled the cap off
Probably
my
Deep
marker.
Purple was totally '70s.
I was going on the fact that I may have been right.
I don't know, man. Like that's not my style of music. I don't know nothing about it.
Oh, we lost somebody.
Cannabella.
Nope, Cannabella, Death, Tom, Frail, Nate. We
Nate.
lost Nate.
I had talked Nate out of the game. He was just like, you know what? No.
He
Someone
was
drive
having
us off the bridge.
he was having technical difficulties earlier, so we'll give him a minute.
He's going on McDonald's internet again.
Oh God. McDonald's internet. Hey, there he is.
He actually had to do
All right.
that. He was in the middle of a session and he lost internet, so he had to drive to McDonald's to get back on. He went the extra mile. He did.
Yeah. Well, he's back. He's muted, but he's back. But yeah, everybody's leaving the north. Well, not everybody, but the roads are pretty empty going north. Like the southbound lanes are congested. The northbounds are not. So you can take as long as you want to get up there. When you're ready to be in the area, let me know.
I'm ready whenever.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
Yeah.
So your drive goes. There's some talk about, time frames and when certain music actually came out as opposed to when it didn't. Some of this might have been over the walkie-talkies between cars. Some might have all been in the same car. I don't know. I'm deeply confused. But you pull up into the parking lot of this nightclub called QXT. Apparently, somebody made sure to print out some MapQuest directions before you left. Or the directions that Treads gave were just that good.
Okay.
We'll say, again, I said we'll retcon the time because we are keeping track of time because it's kind of important for, the purposes of this campaign right now. It was about 1 o'clock when you left Bamber Lake. An hour and a half later, it is about 2:30 in the afternoon. There's a big old close sign on the building. The billboard outside says it doesn't open till 10. But you do notice some cars parked in the side lot, and a couple of the parking lots behind the nightclub itself. And there's lights on the inside. You can see through some of the top windows. There is some lighting on the in there.
Oh, is this the place?
See, it's what the directions say. It's the address.
I don't know what I'm expecting anymore, Daniel, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
Is there,
Is
was
there
Did
there a
a-
place
McGuffey
to
give us
go?
a name?
Was that a
Oh,
question for me?
Yeah, I said, did MacGuffin give us a name or anything, or just a location?
Just the location, so that
Okay,
members of the faction tend to hang out there.
gotcha. So we need to figure out how to figure out who we're going to talk to, or if they're even in here.
Is there a rooftop nearby
There's several.
that would look in through those in through the windows up on the second floor?
Most of them will. There's a parking garage across the street that you could probably do that from. There's a one of those like 1-story hotels with like the flat roof. You could probably do it from the top of that. It's got a 1-story office, I'm sorry, and it's a 2-tier hotel room. And you could probably see through there. And there's just another building. I think it'll be a convenience store. Let's make it easy. Where you can get up there and probably see through the windows as well.
So I'll walk over to Isabella and just say I can try and narrow down somebody of interest if I can look through one of the windows. Do you want to give me your walkie-talkie and I can kind of guide you guys? I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if going in there without some semblance of who we're supposed to talk to is a good idea.
I fully agree, Thomas.
For sure.
Is there like a fire escape or something? I'll get into my Morphus and hop
Yeah.
up there, or if I can hop up there.
Yeah, there's a fire escape, or you could jump it. Either way would work. You do have enough strength to do the jump.
Then I will do the jump, and I'll use my see truth to scan the crowd.
Okay. So the place is shut down, so it's not really crowded. But looking through the window, and these aren't very big windows, but you can see in a couple of the rooms there. You can see probably, you count close to a dozen people. At least 3 of them are Nightbane. They have you're clocking them as such because you can see their human and their Morphus like layered on top of each other as they're walking around. And you've learned enough from using that power with your group here, but also with the railroad and with your last mission, that's what that means. You also notice 2 of them. These ones are weird. You've not seen this type of look yet. Like, you've seen a normal human, they look normal, and you see a few of them in there as well, like just normal people. These ones are normal people, but they have kind of like a sickness to them, like a rot almost a corpse-like appearance kind of layered onto them. And I'm assuming you're using your telescopic eyes with your form to do this.
Yes.
So like you can get a decent look at them, and like, you can see pointed teeth, like canines, like fangs, and their body looks a little shriveled up, but that's underneath or over top of, it's hard to say with the way your power works, of their normal human appearance.
Well, this says it will reveal if they're magic emanations, undead, or vampires.
Yeah, I'm trying to describe the vampire thing without saying they're vampires because you don't know that they're vampires.
Okay, so yeah. Okay. What about the
Player
alignment?
knowledge.
No, that makes sense.
Alignment, you're getting like between unprincipled and miscreant. Like they're not like they're like normal people. A couple, like 2 of them are kind of assholes.
Okay.
But
And for the Nightbane, what do their Morphuses look like?
you have, well, they have something in common. They have the BDSM leather appearance in common between the 2 of them. One of them, though, looks like a complete train wreck, like broken glass and screws, and this person looks messed up, like a gimp suit that's been through a recycling plant's meat drawer and metal shavings drawer. The other one's got the leather boy thing going on as well, but also like shark and moth features. So it's got like a dorsal fin and big moth eyes, and kind of like that mouth, the moth mouth thing with like the proboscis that kind of like goes in and out. Like the little spirally thing.
I'll relay that to the group. And I will stay on the rooftop to observe.
Okay. You're observing them. They're doing, for the most part, like the regular human ones, they just look like they're doing work. Like bar backing, getting stuff set up. The rest of them, the 2 vampires, they're sitting at a table with one of the Nightbane, and they appear to be going over something. You can't exactly tell what it is because of the angle of where you're standing. But they're going over something on a table. And it's at least big enough that, they can all point to stuff that's going on the table. And then the other Nightbane is standing at the bar drinking.
Like I said, I'll tell them that, but I'm gonna stay here as a lookout.
Okay.
All right. Do you think that might be what they were talking about with the Nocturns, or do you think we're seeing I guess what, a gang meetup?
I really cannot tell you what I'm seeing. I just know what is in front of me.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Thomas.
Over.
Over. Been a while since I used these things. All right.
Do I have to be amorphous to sense the presence of other nightbane?
Negative. You just have to be within range.
Well, the less they know about us, the better.
I mean, we're
Okay.
gonna have to tell them about us
Am
anyway.
I within range
They're
of
gonna
us too?
sense us.
Yeah. That's why.
True. Can I sense them before they sense us?
So when you get into range, it's kind of a mutual thing.
Okay.
It's kind of like I like going back to it. It's kind of like Highlander. Like when you get in within so many feet of each other, you're both just going to be like, oh, there's somebody nearby. It doesn't pinpoint, but it does say, hey, there's somebody nearby.
Does it feel different to us depending on the number of them that are nearby? Or is it just like one sensation?
It's just like one sensation. For each one that comes into range, like say if you're going to range and there's 5 of you all standing like within
I mean, we would.
the convergence, you're going to feel that just initial like, oh, there's Nightbane nearby. If a 6th one comes in that was outside of range, you'll get that additional sense.
All right. How do you want to go about this, Daniel?
I mean, we should at least introduce ourselves and explain what we're doing here.
It's as simple as we
And
can.
right, or maybe name drop MacGuffin.
All right.
Oh my God.
I love MacGuffin.
I mean, I'll go up to the door. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. Do you want us to just go up
You
in
got-
pairs? Like,
Or do you think
Isabel,
it'd
do you
be
want to
better
sit
if we
with
went
Elsa?
alone?
Judging from the last time of going in alone, I'd rather not do that again.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I don't think we're gonna. From what he's seen, I don't think that we're gonna, run across someone who's killed a couple cops. But yeah, we can definitely go up in twos. That's fine. I'll go up and knock on the door.
All right.
Who's going with me?
I'll follow you.
All right. I'm going to go to the door that they would be closest to answering.
Okay, that's going to be
And
a side service door.
And
Okay.
I just walk you over to Thomas to let him know that we're going to be walking in, just the 2 of us.
I'll
Watch our backs.
Watch. Over.
Thank you. Over.
Okay. So you walk up to the door and you kind of what are you doing, Cannabella? Isabella?
So I'm going to stay by the car and keep watch
Okay, so we
back
got
there. Have
got-
eyes on the ground.
Okay, we got one of you watching the car, one of you on top of the building doing the telescopic eyes, and 2 of you walking over to the door to go give it the.
I'll
So,
go with the group heading to the door.
okay. So you head up to the door as well. 3 of you are heading to the door. Isabella is standing all by her lonesome next to the car. Hopefully nothing terrible happens to her. And Thomas is on the roof doing the peeping Tom bit. Haha, puns.
Wait a minute. You're immediately making me regret my decision.
I know.
Anyway, everything's fine. Everything is safe. You guys get up to the door. Who's going to give it the knock?
Well,
All right, so
I'm
you
gonna give it a sturdy knock, not like I'm a cop knock.
like a pop pop or just like a tap tap tap.
Yeah, just a tap tap tap.
All right, so kind of like, hey, delivery kind of knock. Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, we got your
Yeah.
produce. All right, so you bang on the door, give it the knock, the tap tap tap, not like, like you said, not the cop bang, but the hey, you got to hear that we're actually knocking on the door knock. And you got a
Right.
big building there. So you do that, and as you're standing there waiting, you get that kind of feeling that, like, the spidey sense, the buzz, and it's like, oh, there's a Nightbane coming this way. Like, that's the feeling. Like, that feeling by now.
Right.
All of you get it.
Does that give us a general sense of direction?
No, but you definitely get the idea that you probably think that's coming from inside the house.
Okay.
Yeah, just a redial.
Yeah.
No real ping.
Yeah, so it doesn't. So the way it reads, the Nightbane in either form can sense the presence of other Nightbane, but not supernatural creatures. The sense is determined by relative power of each specific character. Base range is 300 feet plus 30 feet per level. If the character can see his fellow Nightbane and he is in range, they will automatically know whether or not that person is a member of the Nightbane race, regardless of the person's current form. If the Nightbane cannot see the person, he may still be able to sense the near presence. Oh, yes, general direction and distance of the Nightbane by making a perception roll. So you get the general feeling that one's coming, but you don't have all that extra information unless you do a perception roll.
I'll do a perception roll.
All right.
What do I need to roll for perception?
Perception is going to be a D20, and then you should have some kind of modifier for it as well.
It says sense presence of other Nightbane, 300 feet perception roll.
So I'm going to say that, and this is a pretty easy roll. So the way it works is, for an easy situation, hearing a loud noise, finding a brightly colored object against a white background, 4 or better. Moderate, looking for somebody in a well-lit area, hearing a slight noise, 8 or better. Challenging, looking for something in poor light, hearing something over a noisy background, 14. Or difficult, finding something in the dark and hearing a snake sliding over carpet, 17. We're talking here, this is probably a pretty moderate difficulty thing. You're in I don't want to say controlled environment, but it's not a crazy active environment. And you already know there's Nightbane inside. So 8 or better will get us what we're looking for. You rolled a 9.
I rolled a 9.
Plus any bonuses you had, so you definitely succeed the threshold. So you are going to sense them. What were you looking for specifically on this sense?
If they were the direction that they were at.
Oh, they're coming from inside the building.
Okay.
Behind the door, like straight that way. Like they're walking up to the door.
Gotcha.
Whatever cardinal direction that is, but it's the direction you're facing. They're coming at you from there.
Gotcha.
So
I'm just waiting for them to answer the door.
Yep. So they're gonna slide open it's got one of those little like porthole doors, like the square ones, and they're gonna open it up, and it's this guy with a black goatee that's long and braided, and so that's all skinny. He's wearing mirrored shades, and his hair's slicked back. He's wearing a fishnet shirt. He's got a dog collar with a little leash port on it. He's like, "We don't open at 10. Screw off."
Sorry, don't mean to bother you, but a guy named MacGuffin sent us here to talk to some people about a situation.
You're going to hear from behind that guy. MacGuffin? Open the door, Tracy. This one looks back and he's like, I told you not to call me that. My name is, he's like, and the one behind him goes, I don't give a shit what your fucking name is. or what you want to be called. Just open the fucking door. Let them in. God. Cosplayers, you know? And he looks at you, and this is the Nightbane. You know that from your sense.
Okay.
And they open the door, and he's like, so MacGuffin sent you on today with all that going on. He's probably got a good reason. What's going on? Why are you coming to our establishment?
We were sent to talk to some people because we're looking for, and I'll explain the items that we're looking for. That they were looking for in the Nightlands. Yeah.
Okay, like the crate with the serpents all biting their tails, each other's tails in
Yes.
triangle formation. All right, that's gonna be more up Byron's area of expertise. He's upstairs. As you can imagine, I'm kind of more of the muscle of the situation here.
Give him a nod.
He looks out the window. He looks out the door, and he's like, "Just 3 of you?" It's like trying to look past.
Now we
you.
got a friend out by the car.
Well, if they want to come in, it's probably a good idea. You don't want to be leaving them outside on a day like this. We don't even know what a day like this is.
I'll just make a gesture that they can come on. To whoever wants to see it.
Yeah, I
Got
hand
it.
the walkie to
Coming.
Daniel to let him know. All right. And then I walk you over to Thomas. Thomas, best that you can come join us now.
I'm waiting for you to say over.
I have this like awkward silence, and I go, over.
Do you trust them? Over.
Over what? Over.
Over my dead body. Over. Or your dead body. Over.
As far as we can throw them. Over.
Do you want me to come in or keep a watchful eye outside in case something happens? Over.
I'd rather you safe with us. Over.
I'm glad that's over. And I'll just from The Simpsons. Yeah, I'll go back to my facade and then I'll come in.
Okay. Now, is everybody inside, or did you stay by the car, Isabella?
No, I'm there.
Okay.
I came in.
So you all go inside, and it's kind of weird being inside a nightclub that's not in operation, especially the Goth Kids Club. It's well lit in here for a change. Not that you've ever been here before. I don't know. Have you? That's up to any of you if you've been to this club before. But if you have, it's kind of weird seeing this place in relatively well lit situation. The bar is clean. The floors are clean. Chairs are stacked on top of the tables. This guy goes, "All right, let's head upstairs." And he guides you upstairs and gestures you to a table where you see one of the other Nightbane standing there with another guy he's pulling the Aleister Crowley look a little too hard. Like, this guy is definitely playing the goth clothing routine to the hilt. He's got the platform boots that are shiny and vinyl, the leather pants, the long straight hair. It's probably been straightened. The white button-up shirt that only goes out halfway down he stopped buttoning halfway through. He's got the necklaces. He's got his black sunglasses on, black lipstick and nail polish. Like this guy, he's playing the part. He might be somebody to the club as well if he's playing this, playing it up that much with the appearance. But the one who greeted you at the door, he goes, "That's Byron. Byron, they're looking for something that has to do with this symbol." And since he was still holding the paper with what you showed him, Byron cracks one of those kind of half smiles. You see just a little bit of fang there. He goes, "Oh, that's interesting."
So,
Well, first of all, welcome to our little hideout here. Who are you before we start sharing information?
I'll introduce myself.
Okay.
I say,
Go ahead.
my name is Daniel Hansen. I just found out that I was Nightborn this morning. That would be morning, or would that be yesterday morning?
That would be this morning.
Okay.
6 o'clock this morning.
Yep. And we've made a trip to the Nightlands, which oddly enough had daylight.
Wait.
From what I hear.
That piques everybody's interest. Everybody like leans over and looks at you like, one, you've been to the Nightlands, and two, it's broad daylight over there. Just so you know, like you notice that right away. There's no hiding that.
Yeah. We rescued some people who apparently were to work to find a box with the symbol that I just showed you on that piece of paper. Pretty much the same thing for all of the rest of us, too.
Fledglings. Interesting. And you've already been to the Nightlands, and you said it's broad daylight there. Huh.
Yeah, except I didn't see the sun. It was just bright.
Just bright. Well, that's... Mystically speaking, I was talking to some of our colleagues over at the Seekers. They said they had some operatives that crossed the mirror wall and said the same thing. So now we have confirmation from an outside source. We haven't been able to make the crossing because, well, this place doesn't have any mirrors on the other side. And we've had our handful here just trying to keep this place secure. Well, that symbol right there, it's an Ouroboros. Well, it's a type of Ouroboros. It more accurately represents Tiamat. It's one of the many symbols that was used for her back in the Sumerian times. What it did, what you'll see that on most commonly is as a protective ward. So some kind of, if you said you were looking for a box, whoever put those items in the box were basically entreating Tiamat to protect them, whatever those items were. So they had to be of great import. Now, some other information I'd be willing to share with you if you could tell me even more of what you had going on the Nightlands, and if you'd be willing to share, would be we also got reports from one of our operatives over on the West Coast that a box bearing that symbol had actually been stolen from a museum in New Mexico. We were supposed to be getting possession of the box ourselves. It's the one from the museum's got 4 artifacts. I wonder if they was looking for the same box.
Well, Harrison Ford won't be happy.
Indiana Jones jokes. I love them. I like you. You know how to turn a pun. A phrase? Turn a phrase? Either way. You're good with references. But yeah, no, he would not, considering that these artifacts are Sumerian in nature. Like, these are ancient artifacts. And for all we've learned, is they actually have the power to cause significant damage to the Night Lords and their minions. So, as you can imagine, we've been trying to get our hands on them.
So you say Tiamat, you mean like the Queen of Dragons? Tiamat?
The Queen of Dragons, the consort of Apsu. Yeah, the ancient Sumerian goddess of destruction and evil. But, also very protective of her brood. And that did include her human worshippers.
I just thought she was a Dungeons and Dragons creature.
Most things you'll find in pop culture do have some kind of historical reference point. I assure you her appearance is nothing like what you see in the Dungeons and Dragons books. In fact, a lot of that stuff in there will get you killed if you try to use it practically in our world, which I'm sure you've noticed as you've already been to the Nightlands. You've probably encountered a few different types of minions and creatures so far.
More than I'd like to count.
So are you uglies or are you Ken dolls? How'd you luck out with your morphosis?
Lucky is not a word for me.
I'm like a centaur
Ooh, fun.
with huge antlers, crystal antlers, and an extra arms.
That sounds fun as well. And you can tell he's just kind of, jerking you around at this point just to, keep you talking. Who wants to... Does anybody want to roll a perception check? Or
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to ask if I could.
Yeah, go for it.
I'd like to know what's going on around us. I'm not so much listening to what he's saying.
That 3 ain't going to do it. Is there a bonus on your perception check for your character sheet?
I didn't roll.
That was me. I was rolling because I felt the same way.
Okay.
What's the perception for this one? Is it IQ?
No, it would be on your character sheet.
The only perception bonus that I show on mine is +2 while I'm in Morphus.
Okay. Sheet.
So I wouldn't have one.
Okay.
I don't even see one.
I can check your character sheets. I got them saved on the journals, remember?
Right. I'm looking, but maybe.
Yeah, I only have a +1.
Yeah, I see a +1, so that would be a 4. That will get you something. Who just rolled that other one? Tom.
I rolled a 6.
All right, so that'll be enough to notice something as well. So a 4 and a 6. Hey, 16. That's going to get you a lot.
Plus whatever I have to add to that. I don't even know. Maybe nothing. Maybe something.
Either way, all that stuff's going to get you each something. All right, let's start with that low roll. That's Nate. That's Grayson. So while he's talking to you, and you don't pull up any ill intention in what he's saying, you can see more of he's trying to suss you out, but you're going to pick up on something, and that's going to be the faint sound of loud motorcycles pulling through the parking lot. The next one, Tom. Again, you're going to do kind of the same thing here. Your character, Daniel. You're not going to suss out any ill intention on his end. He's not coming. You don't feel danger vibes. Again, more he's trying to suss you out. But what you catch is something on the table. You actually see the same exact symbol on the table, and you see pins in several different areas on the map. Along with, on a folder, one of them says New Mexico. One of the pins is looking like it's going to be in Princeton. And it's got it says Princeton Museum there. And a couple of the other ones are going to be in other towns as well. And so it's three locations you see, and each one has the city and museum. Princeton Museum, Trenton Museum, Rutgers Research Wing.
And that's what I see?
That's what Tom sees.
Oh, okay.
You pick up on both of those things.
Okay.
You pick up on the motorcycles coming in. You pick up on the three places located on the map with the same picture of the three serpents. But what you also see are some sketches. And these are... It's kind of weird to you because, well, you're kind of new to all this supernatural stuff. But one of them they look like a bracelet on one of them. And it has this kind of weird other language that you're not sure what it is because you don't even know what this alphabet is. Like, you teach Krav Maga, so you've seen Hebrew. It kind of looks like that, but it ain't that. It's definitely not English. And it's got some, like, this is probably just, like, since the D&D reference was made earlier, that's stuck in your head. It looks almost like D&D kind of like magic language, like runes there. And the bracelet has a picture next to it where it's a sword. And another one has like a suit. It looks like a suit of armor. Like these 4 bracelets, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 5 bracelets all have different forms next to them and wording in between the 2. So one's a bracelet, one's a ring, one's a necklace, and it's got that strange language, and then it's got another form directly next to it. Like the words are in the middle, the form's next to it. So jewelry.
I will spend time trying to intently carve every detail of what I'm seeing into my brain so that I can recant it later.
Yeah. You could do that. That
I'm
doesn't
also
cost
paying
anything.
attention to the sound of the motorcycle people and what's going on with that.
Yep. They're getting closer. Everybody who heard the motorcycles, they're getting closer. They're loud too. They're like Harleys.
Okay. Oh, I mean, we don't necessarily know that that's trouble, but it is something we have to stay aware of.
Yeah, I'll pipe
Stay
up
aware
and
of
just.
that, well, committing this information to memory. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Yeah, I'll pipe up and just say, expecting company.
Byron's gonna look up, sit down. He's gonna pinch the bridge of his nose and go, "Oh, I really wasn't, and I really hope that isn't." Tracy, my name is. I don't care what you're going by. Go check the fucking door. And he huffs and starts his way down to the door. No, I'm not expecting anybody, but with everything that's going on, as you can imagine, we've been pretty busy fielding calls when they could get through. And as you've probably already realized, not only are you not the only you in town, we aren't the only us up here either. And as he's talking, you can hear the motorcycles crash out. Oh, we lost Frail.
Yeah. I just noticed that.
He had a dip, he said. So we will just go a little bit longer here and then dip out.
Okay.
I did not know he had to leave that early. But you hear some arguing downstairs. Tracy goes to open the door, and you just hear a bang. And it's like, is he here? You can't come. And then yeet. You hear like a guy go fly across the room because you just hear the crash out of glass and bar stools hit the ground. The 2 Nightbane in the room go, all right, that's it. He's here. We're going to go handle this. And they start heading downstairs.
Okay, yeah. I kind of put my hand out to Thomas to get myself between wherever the door they're heading and kind of like grab Daniel, like, should we be expecting something? Wait, what's going on?
Byron looks over.
Obviously.
Byron pipes up and he goes, It's just the warlords. They're a little pissed off that we aren't open and serving booze yet. They'll calm him down.
If you'd like assistance, I don't mind helping.
You want to go handle a couple pissed off biker Nightbane who are looking for booze? Have at it. After that, we can get you.
Guys, reach across. Can I reach across the bar and grab a bottle of something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, let me handle it. So I reach across the bar and I grab a bottle of like Jack Daniels because everyone knows Jack Daniels, you know. And I walk down to where they're having their kerfuffle.
Okay. Byron's like, after you guys get that sorted out, we'll get you some information on where you can go to find these, find this box. You'd be doing us a favor, and you'd be doing you a favor at the same time. And that's where we'll end this tonight because we lost.
Okay.